Today's episode is proudly brought to you by Sandton Pharmacy, just for you. In a world where globalization eats away at our heritage, where the big box stores and corporate giants sit at the edge of our hometowns and take and take and take, there is only one family-owned, locally owned, professional pharmacy that remains. For the past year, Sandton Pharmacy has been there for the community, providing professional healthcare advice and medical deliveries to the community. They've been there for me, and I know they've been there for you, because that's Sandton Pharmacy, and it's just for you. In a world where customer service usually only means lip service, and you know what I mean, do yourself a favor. Sandton Pharmacy, just for you. If you have a cough, an itch, or a scratch, a simple sniz, just for you. If your doctor writes you a script, Sandton Pharmacy, just for you. Sandton Professional Pharmacy is easy to find and easy to get to. Just 3 kilometers from Westgate Mall, along Shinoy Road, or follow the signs to our doorsteps. Open 365 days of the year, just for you. Because that's the way we roll. Sandton Pharmacy, just for you.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Class of 2019. Let me be honest, I be smoking grass. I'm trying to burn memories of snakes from my past. The nightlife got me sleepless when I look for cash. Let these headlights shine my path when I hit the gas. Simply put, I ain't worried about nothing. I got so much to learn that I ain't worried about fumbling. They lacking the knowledge by my city, make assumptions. We're killing everybody this time, no exceptions. Did I mention? Got the rap game on my mattress. About to hit it good till it makes me point of reference.
Hello and welcome to the African Millennial Podcast, and we are back again with another exciting episode this week. Obviously, you know, I'm joined by your favorite girl. This is where you jump in. What's going on? What's going on? Are you drinking meth or something?
I think last week we celebrated International Women's Day, so that's pretty big for me. I'm pretty big for every other
Yeah.
woman out there, so I'm pretty psyched for that.
Wait, so do men get a month as well? Or it's just for women?
Well, I think there's men's. Well, someone was talking about Men's Month or Men's Day being in November, but I thought November was
Right.
like no shave November. I'm a little confused. I think I'll look into that and find out if men have a Men's Day or Men's Month. But yeah.
Yeah, we need that. We need that too. I mean, you guys have a lot of days dedicated to you guys. That's crap. We need some days too. Come on. We can't be
Well,
celebrating you every time. Valentine's is your day.
what? Well, we are supposed to be celebrated. We do deserve to be celebrated. So why not? Why not? Why not? Why not? Nobody can
But
stop
why can't you
reggae.
But why can't you celebrate us as well?
We
Come
do.
on.
We do celebrate you on your birthdays. We celebrate you on Father's Day. We celebrate
Now, do you
you
know
on. I'll look it up. I'll look it
on
up. I'll look
Father's
it
Day?
up.
You see, you don't even know. You don't even know, bro. It
My
sucks. It
apologies to
sucks.
all the men out there. I'm really sorry, but I'll definitely look it up. I know that
To all the men listening, all the men listening, we need to come together and form a coalition against human rights violation, especially targeted human rights violation towards. No, this is actually gender rights violations. Yeah, because now we're not celebrating this. We don't get anything the whole year. They took over Valentine's. They say Valentine's is celebrated for men only in a leap year. When was the last leap year?
um
I keep saying brief.
I don't know. That one applies to those people that actually celebrate Valentine's. I'm not really a fan of Valentine's, so I'm good on that one. I'm good.
What you mean? You didn't get anything?
No, I did, but I'm
Um,
not particularly a celebrator of
Did you
Valentine.
get him something though?
I plead the Fifth Amendment right now. So I ain't saying that. I ain't
Okay.
saying nothing. But yeah,
Okay.
we're celebrating women this
Okay.
whole entire month. And it's amazing to see that there are a lot of amazing women who are doing quite a lot of amazing things out there. And I definitely think that there's probably a month for men. I'm sorry to all the men that I don't know enough information about that, but we will look it up. I will look it up because clearly another man on this podcast does not know which month this is, so I am not the only one.
What you mean? What you mean? Relax. We don't have a month. We don't have nothing. We don't have nothing. For us, it's just, hey, live, die. That's it. We
No,
get to celebrate you guys. That's it.
all life is important and we celebrate everyone, but there is reasons why we
Really.
put emphasis on Women's Month, especially because of the struggles
Mhm.
that we have gone through over the years, in terms of equity, in terms of abuse, and all these other things. So every
Mhm.
achievement, it is important for us to celebrate it.
But I actually think we should have a conversation again on this, on like what's the attention that's in the focus that's being put on women and its effects on men.
Okay.
Because I feel like it's we're always just focusing on women. There's always everything on women, women, and there's less focus on men,
Hmm.
that they were now having issues in the male community. We're having men's mental health issues on the rise.
Yeah, true.
Um, we have all these things going on, and some of them are just are being caused by what's going on in society in terms of
Yeah.
our focus on. But I mean, that's something else. But for today, we have
A very
something.
juicy, a very, very juicy topic. um,
Yep,
I know
we're, we're
this
talking
has,
about.
yeah, you talk about it. Yeah, you talk about it.
Why are you tossing it to me? Like, yeah, you talk about it. You talk about it.
Okay,
What are
okay.
you saying?
Okay. This topic has been talked about enough times, but we are going to
Hmm.
be bringing a different twist to it because it's in our non-Shirugi conversations, and this is episode 3. And we are going to be going deeper because we talk about it, yes, but there are actually things
Yeah.
that people don't talk about it when they talk about it. So those are the things that we're going to be talking about when it comes to
All
our
right.
topic. Akeem will
Yep.
introduce it. See, it goes back to you again.
All right. So we're talking about sex, consent, and cohabitation.
Hmm.
Am I right? The three
Yes.
letters. Yay! Three
Yay.
words. So we're talking about
3
three
letters,
words.
3 words. Yes.
Yes. So yeah, cohabitation. I think we've had a conversation on consent in the past, yeah?
Yeah.
Confirm. Yeah. So I reckon we should start maybe with cohabitation, then we just get over to sex, and then lastly we can talk about consent.
Okay. That's that's
What
that,
you
that
think?
that's okay. I think it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, let's talk about
So
cohabiting in the African
what is
sense.
cohabiting? Is there
Um,
cohabiting in the African sense?
well, in Africa, well, not in Africa. In Zimbabwe, they call it kubika mapoto, right? And
I don't know that.
it's not talked about in a good light because it's
Oh,
deemed illegal when, a girl and a guy start staying together and they're not married or no one knows about it.
is illegal the right word?
Well,
I
okay,
think it's
illegal is too strong, but
yeah, inappropriate might be better words. Illegal is like you're getting arrested for this stuff.
your parents will,
Yeah,
your
but
relatives will.
inappropriate.
Okay, yeah, illegal is too strong and inappropriate. Um,
Yeah.
it's not culturally accepted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And usually, I know like in America and some of the Western countries, it's something that's normal for a guy and a girl that have been dating for a while to move in together as their next step, and they start living together for a couple of months, even have kids. And then,
Mm-hmm.
after a couple of years, they even have a child that's maybe in seventh grade, and now they're talking about getting married. But in the Zimbabwean sense, in the African sense, people really don't do that because of the cultural side of things. And also, usually when it happens, someone elopes. It's not like a consented agreement where, a girl says, okay, yeah, me and him were moving in together. Not that I'm saying that there are
Mm-hmm.
no cases where people talk about it and they move in together, but there are cases where,
Yeah.
a guy gets a girl pregnant, she elopes, moves in, and they start living together.
And what you, I mean, just to get the conversation started, what do you think is, are you in support of cohabitation, or are you just like it shouldn't be done? And if you are, why? If you're not, why?
Okay, for me personally, from a moral standpoint, I am totally not for the idea. And obviously, from a
What do you
religious
mean?
from a religious point of view,
Okay.
yeah, me being a
Mm-hmm.
Christian and believing in, the institution of marriage, I believe that people should get married first and then move in together. And
No, but then what's wrong with moving in together
moving in
on a
together,
moral standpoint?
from, okay, according to my morals, I believe that people should be abstaining, and, some people
No,
are
but then
celibate,
moving.
and
No, but
that
then
puts you in a little bit of a tempting position if you are trying to be celibate or not trying to engage in any sexual activity. If you move in with someone, how
mhm.
are you going to avoid the temptation of not doing?
Okay.
Yeah.
First and foremost,
Hmm.
moving in together and sleeping together are two different concepts. We might
Hold
move in
up.
together,
Hmm.
but no,
So
I'm
you're
saying
saying that
like
people can move in together and
um
not sleep with each other?
I mean it's a possibility. Let's not put those two things in one basket.
Okay.
Well, let's say moving in together is moving in together.
Hmm.
Sleeping with each other, having sex once we have moved in together,
Hmm.
that's a different thing. That's a different issue. First and foremost, let's start with the first issue here.
Moving in.
Moving in together.
Yep.
Yeah, what do you think about that?
It gives a lot of room for exploitation. Let me explain.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
listening.
in I think it was episode one where we were talking about, people, guys particularly being exploited for their money, and we talked about money, and how, when you then move in with someone and they're not contributing anything to the upkeep of your house, you're the one paying the bills, they're not doing anything, and then you feel like, oh, they're not pulling their weight, I'm not even married to them. And, then you kind of feel entitled to certain benefits. You're like, oh, I'm providing the food
Hmm.
on the table, I'm the one who's paying the
No,
lights.
but wait,
So,
Vanda, let me just hold you there. Let me hold you there.
mhm,
Um, moving in together,
yes,
is that good or bad? Let's not get to the whole yeah, let's start on the
bad,
let's just look at it.
it's
Yeah, let's
bad.
look at the exactly now. Why are you saying it's bad? Let's start there without really getting into the sixth thing. Let's talk about it in the merits of that only. I mean,
Okay.
obviously, because I get you. When you say moving in together is bad,
Hmm.
I know that what you're actually saying is okay, it's bad because of the the sex element. That's where it gets bad for you.
And
Or am I wrong?
the money element, exploitation. Because someone could actually just move
Mhm.
in because they want you
But
to take care of
but
the
what if
bills.
but what if you're working together? Let's say, okay, maybe let's put it in a context where it actually is, it might be okay. So people outside of the country, like Africans outside of their native countries,
Hmm.
might actually be living together. Most of them, okay, like I know most of my friends are doing that, right?
Hmm.
Um, let's talk about that. Like you're out of the country, you're staying, say, in the UK,
Hmm.
and you and your boyfriend decide to move in together. You're both working. You're both working. So there's no situation of, hey, come and stay with me because of and
It's
because I want you to
cheaper
do
and
this
yeah.
or whatever. Yeah. You're actually staying together, you're moving in together, and you're both working. You're both working decent jobs. It's not like
Uh-huh.
one is reliant on the other. No. You're meeting each other at the what you call this?
In the
At
middle.
the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I feel like
Is that bad?
for me, I still wouldn't do it. If I am by
Mhm. Yes.
myself, not attached to anyone legally, I would rather be independent. Because I feel like if you're going to cohabit, you're going to
Mm-hmm.
infringe on each other's personal space, and it might not work out well. I mean,
Okay.
yeah, because when you are obviously when you are single, like single, as in government single, you you can do certain things. You can get into contracts by yourself, and you know solely that, okay, this is me, this is my responsibility, I am taking care of this. But because you then get into a partnership, that means you start having to make each other sign, because we all know that, yes, they call it the gentleman's agree I mean, is it called the gentleman's agreement? Yeah, the gentleman's word,
Mm-hmm.
something like that. um I could take your word for it because you feel a certain type of way. I could take your word for it that you're going to hold your end of the bargain when it comes to paying rent every month
Mm-hmm.
because you love me. But what happens when that changes and you don't love me anymore? Are you still going to hold your end of the bargain and pay the other half of the rent that you're supposed to pay? What happens when we break
But
up? Are we going to
yeah,
still
but
continue to
isn't
live
isn't
together,
okay.
or we're going to, yeah.
But then isn't when you're, I mean, this is all handled for legally though. Like when you're moving into an apartment or a place, isn't you have the lease agreement?
Hmm.
And if you're getting in a joint as a joint party, I think lease agreements over that side have some way of handling this. So this is all done legally. So there's, if
But
in the event that we break up, I mean, I still have a legal obligation to pay my half of the rent,
but how?
don't I?
Okay, I've got a question. How many people do you know? Okay, I won't even go abroad. Like
What?
here in Zimbabwe, who are cohabiting and they went legal.
I'm not sure, to be honest.
Most of the
Locally,
people,
I'm not sure. I don't
most
know.
of the people that
Uh-huh.
live together locally here in Zimbabwe, they don't go
Hmm.
legal. Your girlfriend
Okay.
just decides, you know what? I want to start living with my boyfriend. She rocks up at your house with her bags and
Hmm.
everything, and she's telling you, "Oh yeah, I've been kicked out. Can I crash with you for a couple of days?" And then she's there for a couple of days. Couple of days turns into weeks, into months, into years, and voila, you even have kids up in there. So most people actually never go legal. They just move in.
Yeah, true.
Hmm. So because there's no legal side of it, it could
Hmm.
easily become a he said she said. And most of the times people don't like going legal with their boyfriend, with their girlfriend, because they feel like it kind of looks like they don't trust them
Hmm.
in most cases. Because
That's true.
I'm thinking, okay, if I go legal on Akeem, Akeem could easily say, "So you think I'm not going to pay the rent? Are you crazy? I'm going to pay the rent. What are you saying? Do you not trust me?" And already, when someone says something like that, you're like, "Oh, yeah, I trust you." And then you kind of backpedal and you won't go the legal route that you would have gone with initially.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, but okay. Maybe let me just say this. I mean, if okay, let's say I'm to get into setting up a thingy, getting into like a cohabitation situation.
Hmm.
If I then accept the responsibility of paying the rent by myself, or wait, like in this example that you gave, like
Hmm.
she's moving into my place, right? I'm already paying the full rent,
Full rent, yeah.
right? Yeah. Nothing's gonna change really.
Hmm.
If she then decides, hey, I want to help out with the rent, that's okay.
Hmm.
But naturally, I'm supposed to take care of the rent because I got into this place by myself.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So okay, maybe let me just put my position in this case,
Hmm.
or maybe the people's position.
What do you mean, the people?
The people's position.
Okay, let's hear it.
The people like this. The people say, let us cohabitate. I
Okay.
think okay, I think we're looking at it from okay, we're just looking at it without the other thing that we say we'll
Yeah.
discuss later on.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it's a good concept because think about it. How many people are actually cohabiting with their friends?
Friends, it's different.
No, no, but yes, it is different. But again, this is your girlfriend. Okay, let's just say you're in a serious relationship, like you're in a proper serious relationship.
If it's
You
serious, then get
guys
married.
are devoted to each
Okay.
other.
I'm being too much.
No, but then
Continue.
you know you maybe want to get married, but then you still haven't reached that stage where you can get married because maybe the finances are not there yet. You know we have to pay lobola and stuff, and you might not have the money yet, right?
So how does
Maybe just starting off.
cohabiting fix that problem?
Okay, I'm not saying it fixes that problem, but
Hmm.
I'm saying it's a way also to help you to get to a better position. Like
Hmm.
the reason why I'd stay with roommates or have a housemate is
Hmm.
I want to split costs, right?
Yeah,
At this
absolutely.
point, with a point where you're starting off your journey in life, um, you're not really trying to have high, expenses
High
in terms
living
of
costs, yeah.
living costs, right? Yeah, you want to cut down as much as possible so that you can focus on other areas of life. You can
Yes.
invest, you can buy furniture, property, etc., right?
Hmm.
You can develop yourself as well. But
Yeah.
then you can't do that when you have all these huge expenses like rentals and all that, right? And hence you move in with a housemate.
Uh-huh.
Now, in this case, if you have the opportunity of moving in with a housemate who's actually your girlfriend, I think like it's a better alternative, because in this case now you can start buying stuff together. Okay, that's another problem. But
Hmm.
you can, okay, let's assume it's a good relationship. You guys are just on your way to marriage. You can already start buying stuff together, which is something that you really can't do with your friends. If I move in with my best friend,
Hmm.
I can't really be buying stuff with him. Like,
Oh, yeah.
obviously he's gonna go his way, I'm gonna go my way eventually. So we can't buy things like that. But if I'm with my girlfriend, who I'm destined to marry, I can actually buy stuff with her, and we can do that.
But then the thing now is, and I see a lot of legal right there, a lot of legal, because you're dating this girl, right? And then you move in together, and then you start buying things jointly as if you're married. And remember,
Hmm.
relationships can go either way. You could actually end up happily married to this person, or
Yeah,
it could all
true.
end in a nasty breakup, right? And then
Hmm.
it ends in a nasty breakup. You obviously don't go to divorce court so that they divide everything equally among the parties. You obviously will then take each other to court and
Uh-huh.
start trying to balance who paid for what and what amount was paid for this. So, are you saying that you're going to be keeping all those receipts in your relationship just in case you break up? And when that nasty day comes, you'll be like, I've got the
Mhm.
receipts for the TV. I've got the proof that I transferred $3,000 to your account so that you could buy us a new bed. I have proof that the car that we bought when we were together, I fully financed that and it's not yours. We're not selling it so that we split the money. Because you know what? Even
Mhm.
with married couples, it's hard to actually split everything equally, and even consider that who contributed what. So think about how
Yeah.
messy it is in a cohabiting situation.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, that's the downside.
It's messy.
That's the it's a possibility that it can turn into that, right?
Hmm.
But at the same time, I feel like also if you're in a position where you can do it and you both want to do it, I don't think it should be a problem too.
I've got a story.
Okay.
Okay. So, person X, please do not kill. Okay, I'm not mentioning your name. um, so, there's a person X. X is the guy, and then Y is the girl. So X and Y were madly in love when they were in university, and they were at a really expensive university abroad. And, them coming from the same country, they were like, this is it. And their love life seems to be heading in a very positive direction at the time. And what they thought was the next logical step for them was to move in together. They moved in together,
Hmm.
but in this moving arrangement, this meant that the girl, Y, didn't pay for anything at all. And the guy, X, was paying for the rent, he was buying
Hmm.
the groceries, trying to show that he can provide, and doing all these things in their cohabiting situation. So, their relationship progressed. That was in their first year of university, second year. Second year, they hit
Hmm.
a very interesting path where they were having a lot of arguments because of boundary issues. Because as much as they were cohabiting, technically you're still government single, right? You're not married. So there are certain things that,
Yeah.
she would feel he's being too much, and then he would feel like she's being too much. I pay the bills. He's already starting to feel like a husband. She's like, no, I'm not your wife, type thing. Those kinds of conflicts, right? And
Yeah.
on top of that, there were other issues that were then involved, issues of cheating, and they just had different visions. And they discovered, you know what? I don't think that we actually will end up getting married. So let's just end this relationship,
Hmm.
right? So this
Yeah.
is in the second year of university. And then this girl continued to live with the guy because now she was not used to paying rent at all. So all her money was going all her money was going to financing a very lavish life of slaying,
Hmm.
Gucci, Louis Vuitton, all those labels, eating fancy, dressing fancy, being the it girl at the university. So at some point, he started seeing someone
Yeah.
else. And then she felt like, oh, so you're seeing someone else, so maybe I should start seeing someone else. And then there was now a huge conflict because he's like, you know what? If you're going to start seeing someone else, you might as well move out because I'm paying the rent and you're not my girlfriend anymore.
Hmm.
And she was like, no, you have no right to evict me because I haven't found anywhere else to stay yet. So she would bring her new boyfriend under the roof of the ex boyfriend where he was buying the groceries. And he would bring his new girlfriend, she would bring her new boyfriend, and it was just awkward. very awkward. And it obviously did not end in a nice way where the guy ended up having
Wait, and
to.
this guy was paying
Yeah,
wait, this guy was paying all the rent by
his name
himself.
his name was the one that was on the lease agreement, so he was entitled to
So
pay.
why didn't
And
so why didn't he just tell her to leave? I
he
mean, that
told
was a
her,
fault on the guy.
but she kept saying that she hadn't found somewhere to go. And him being a good
Well,
guy,
but it's
he was
I mean,
feeling
that's his problem.
he felt bad. He didn't want to throw this girl out on the street. And so
Okay.
it became
Let me just
really messy, which ended up in the guy
let me
having
just
to
say here.
actually evict while he moved to another apartment without the girl knowing, and
Mhm.
then he left that apartment, and yeah, it was, well, either way, it ended up messy.
And his property.
He moved with it. He just waited
Oh,
for a
okay.
day
I
when the girl
mean,
was not there, and he just moved, which was sneaky,
I think
but
in this case, I think in this case, it's the guy's. I mean, the guy is the problem here. I mean, he couldn't stand up for his. He couldn't stand his ground. I mean, look, if you're
But
paying for
then,
rent,
wait, look at it this way. If he had
mhm,
thrown her out on the street, the man, I'm supporting man here, every man here who's been in a situation that's
mhm,
this tricky, if he had evicted her,
yeah,
people were going to call him out and say, why were you treating a woman like this? Why were you doing this? Why were you doing this and that? You should have just let her live in your house. I've got another story. Sorry, today I got stories. I know of another
yeah, sorry,
I know of another guy who was cohabiting with his girlfriend,
mhm,
and when it came time for him to actually break up with her, she refused, and she was like, "You have," because they were cohabiting for like 3 years, and she said,
mhm.
"I will only move out if you pay me reparations for all the sex I was giving you for the past 3 years."
Wow,
Yeah. So
that's tough.
cohabiting is messy, really messy.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe on the for the first guy,
Hmm.
to be honest, he just didn't stand his ground. I don't think anyone would really judge you if you did something like that. Like people, I don't think people would judge you badly because look, we were in a relationship. Now the relationship is over, right? You naturally need to leave, so leave, right?
Hmm.
And if you are now staying in my house, you were staying in my house illegally, so you
You're a squatter.
actually, yeah, you are an illegal residence within my house.
Yeah.
You're trespassing,
Hmm.
and by law, I can get you arrested, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think the guy should have just stood his ground. But I know that's some of the things that happened. What I was actually gonna say was, if you look at some countries, they actually have like cohabiting laws.
Hmm.
So I was just looking up. The UK has like laws for cohabitation.
Hmm.
They actually recognize cohabitation as a thing,
Hmm.
and there's like a cohabitation agreement that you need to sign if you're
Ah.
going to be cohabiting.
Hmm.
Yeah. So I think in the situations where you're moving in with your girlfriend
Hmm.
and you guys want to do all this, I think it's best for you guys to do this the legal way.
Hmm.
I mean, it's not that I don't trust you, but things might happen, you
Yeah,
know?
true.
And when things happen, we need to be covered. We need to know who gets what and how do we proceed from then on.
But it feels like a
So I
marriage to
think
me. It feels like a marriage. Like if you're planning for a relationship, for cohabiting like this, why not just get married? That's my thought.
no, but then it isn't. You cohabiting is when you're cohabiting, right? You're just going there and saying, hey, look, we're having a 50-50 agreement here. You pay half of the rent, I'm paying half of the rent. And there's a legally binding document that says you should pay half, I should pay half,
Hmm.
right? And in the event that you default, um, you default,
I'm taking you to
and
court. Are you getting arrested by
I'm
the
taking you to
police?
court.
But are you
Exactly, you
actually
know.
going to get your girlfriend arrested because she didn't pay her half of the rent?
Obviously, that's now up to
You
to
see
to, to
now.
viewers' discretion. No, but then you are in a legally binding situation,
Mm.
and if you're both respectable people, adults, I'm sure that you should be able to respect the contract, the both of you.
If
You
people don't
know, like
respect a relationship, some people don't even
a
respect
rel-
contracts with their own bosses, and you think that they're going to respect a contract with you, the boyfriend?
and with you, the boyfriend. I get that's also where it comes now to you as a couple knowing, seeing each other's maturity. Because if you know your girlfriend is not that mature, then
Mhm.
why even get into it then? You know, I mean, we need to be in a situation where people, because I mean, life is fast moving and becoming more modern. We're now living in a more modern society than probably our parents were. Um, People now cohabit. The reason why some countries have actually made this an actual law and put like actual law and whatever to cover this and recognize this in illegally, it means that this is now part of society, right?
So are
People,
you
because
saying,
of
sorry to interject, so are you saying that we need
okay,
cohabiting laws here in Zimbabwe?
yeah, we need them.
Okay.
We need them because I mean it's bound to happen. You're going to be in a relationship. Okay, I've seen on Instagram, on Twitter, people complaining about, hey, I was with dating this guy, we bought this stuff together,
Mm.
then he dumped me, and I want to get my curtains and the ask for a door, that kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
Or I want to get my iPod. We've had
Uh,
those stories, right?
mhm,
So it's things that are happening. People right now are buying things with their girlfriends. They're buying things with their
mhm,
boyfriends. They might not be staying together, and probably they might not be cohabiting.
mhm,
But in most situations, you have maybe the guy is independent. He's staying out of his parents' house, and the girl probably staying at her parents' house,
parents'
and
house.
the guy is not staying at his parents' house, yeah, and the girl's staying at the parents' house, and these two are planning together. They're buying stuff together, right?
Yeah.
And then this guy um, ends up cheating or messing everything up, and the
Marrying someone
girl is in a
else.
disadvantaged position now.
Hmm.
Exactly, and now the girl is in a disadvantaged position because she invested,
Yeah.
right? But I'm saying that's something that's happening, and we've
True.
already seen that.
Hmm.
And in as much as we might say, nah, let's not do it, it's something that's going to happen. So
Yeah.
I think we should have those laws
Hmm.
to sort of protect both parties in the event that that happens.
True.
Because um, if we, like we said in our previous conversation, you know, if we're in a relationship and I bought you the car, when we dissolve the relationship, what happens to the car?
Yeah.
Do you go away with it or do I take it back? We need all that to be covered by law. That all
But
needs to
then
be covered by
it
law.
becomes
Otherwise, we have
tricky.
people burning houses.
There's actually stories of people burning houses. Today I got stories, guys. I know of a
Yeah,
guy who was,
yeah, that's what I'm
because
saying.
now I
Uh-huh.
want to look at it from a point of security. I know a guy
Yeah.
who was dating this girl. They weren't okay, we wouldn't call it like full on cohabiting, but this girl used to spend weekends at this guy's place and all of that.
Uh-huh.
And when they broke up, she went crazy. And like those situations where you hear someone is being told let's end this relationship, and they're like, no, 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 we shouldn't end this relationship. It was sort of like that
Uh-huh.
sort of situation. And then this girl decides, okay, you are going to break up with me. I am not having any of it. So she went to the guy's apartment, set it on fire. And this is an apartment
Wow.
that this guy doesn't even own. So he actually got in trouble with his tenant, I mean, with his landlord, and he actually got
Hmm.
evicted and stuff like that because she set fire. And this girl was extreme because she then went on to like smash the windows of his other car, egged the windows, and
Whoa.
it was epic. But like these are some of the things that happen when things go south, because now you have issues of like stalking, or yeah, this girl still has access to my house, or he still has the spare keys to whatever room, and he's refusing to give me the keys to my house. And obviously it's
Hmm.
expensive to replace keys, but you're like, can you just give me back my keys since we are not no longer dating? But this guy still has access. So cohabiting is a very interesting jungle for those that do decide to embark on this journey. I feel like you need to go full legal,
Yeah. Well, I
or
think
don't.
it's best.
Hmm.
It's best to just have everything, because I mean, if you can't respect a simple contract, then um, what else can you respect later on in life? What else won't you be able to respect later on in life? Would you be able to respect the marriage agreement?
Wow, that's an interesting question.
Yeah, but yeah, because I mean, it's simple, guys. If you are going to be staying, if you decide, yeah, I want to start doing this with this person,
Hmm.
you need to know that there is a possibility of that not working out, right? And what happens when it does not work out?
Yeah.
Are you protected? If you decide, hey, you're not up for that stress, then good, don't get into it. But if you decide, let me get into it, be protected,
Hmm. But the thing now
And
is,
I think,
go on.
mhm.
Yeah, go on.
Oh yeah, I think also you can just have that contract just drafted by a lawyer, and you have like some witnesses and stuff.
Mm.
Shouldn't be a problem, because I mean, with the rate at which we're hearing these stories, we might as well just do that, because you
Yeah.
know that if she's gonna cheat or if he's gonna cheat, and you guys have invested in something together, someone's gonna cry foul, right?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
what's gonna happen in that situation?
Hmm.
And I think we need those laws. Actually, they need to be there, because
Yeah.
this is now part of society. This is what's going on,
Hmm.
and people are now, women are integral part of society now as compared to before. I think cohabiting didn't make sense way back in the past, for I mean at our parents' age era, and before, because mostly men were working,
Hmm. But you
you
you you
know.
bring a very interesting point, because I've heard of stories where someone actually convinced their girlfriend to move in with them only because they wanted
Mhm.
to control them. And by control them, it's in a
Whoa.
psychopathic kind of way where he actually wants to know where you are 24/7. He wants to know
So,
who you're talking to, why you're talking to them, if he doesn't like your friends. Oh, I don't like you talking to your male friends. I don't want this. And it's in a creepy, abusive kind of way. So there is also that aspect where someone actually is not just wanting to cohabit with you for the sake of, oh, I love you and all of that, but because they want to control you. What's your take
mhm.
on that?
Yeah, that's bad.
But
That's
it
bad.
happens.
I
It
mean,
happens.
yeah. I think also that's where it means, as people, I mean, as people in a relationship, you still need to know your partner.
Hmm.
I mean, you know your partner. You know what your partner is capable of and will be capable of.
Yeah.
So before getting into something with your partner, think about it twice. You know, do you just want to do it just because you want to make him happy or make her happy?
Hmm.
but you know fully well that it will be of detriment to your life or your well-being,
Yeah.
or do you want to do it because you generally feel like you guys can put it off, right?
Hmm.
So if you know that your partner has those psychopathic tendencies, I would say just flat out disagree, deny. I mean, it's not like you have a gun held at your head, saying move in with this nigga
But then you could
or move
actually
in with
have a
this
gun to
girl.
your head. Let me explain. There are some
Mm,
situations where it looks like a rescue mission. Let's say I've got my own apartment. I'm flourishing. I've got a
mm-hmm,
great job. I'm paying my rent on time. I'm paying my insurance. My car has got enough fuel, and everything's working out fine, right? And then
mm-hmm,
possibly I don't have a strong family support system. I lose my job
yeah,
and I'm not able to pay rent. I'm not able to take care of my needs as I would have. And then my boyfriend then says, you know what? I want to take care of you. So I think the best way we can do this, because it's a little bit expensive for me to be paying your rent, why don't you move in with me? And it sounds logical, right? It sounds like it's a solution that could actually work. But
mm-hmm,
maybe that boyfriend is rescuing me. It's a rescue mission, but he's also a psychopath. But at the same time, that's the only option I have at the moment because I'm actually getting evicted. I've been evicted. My things are outside. I have nowhere to go. I don't have money. I've been fired. How do we help
that's
someone in a
tricky.
situation like that?
Okay, so in this scenario, he offered, right?
Yeah.
And you also need to be
You can't go
in the
legal on him.
process of,
Remember, he's
yeah,
like
obviously,
going, oh, yeah, let me help you out. You can't then be saying, oh, yeah, so
yeah,
let's sign a contract. So we put it in black and
true.
white. So, how do we navigate that situation?
Okay, when you get into that situation, I think it's best that you, obviously, he's rescuing you, it's a rescue mission. I think it's best you just start working on your plan B. Like, it's like, hey, I just had a flat tire, can I use your car?
Hmm.
Or can you help me out with my car? Then I'll be like, yeah, nah, you can use mine, right?
Hmm.
It's a rescue mission, right? You're
Yeah.
using my car, but
Hmm.
doesn't mean that
It's now
it's
yours.
yours.
Yeah.
Yeah, make a plan while you're using my car. Sort out your car's tires, right? Replace the tires in the meantime.
Hmm.
Then return it back quickly. That's the most important part of it. Make your plans quickly. Get into his place
Hmm.
just to avoid the rain and the mugs
Hmm.
outside,
Hmm.
but it doesn't mean camp there.
Yeah.
Get there, be safe for the night. The next day, start working on your plan B.
Hmm.
Hey, actually, you obviously have friends.
Hmm.
You do have family, right? You
Yes.
do have family, do have relatives. Take your stuff back. Hey guys, this is what happened. Unfortunately, I have to move back home. Move back home. Get yourself out of the situation. You know, because
But
it's gonna
then
be difficult.
I did make emphasis that some people actually don't have that family support. They don't have that strong family support where they can actually fall back on. This is the reason why we have people who get abused and they can't leave because
Mhm.
they are in a place where they're thinking, if I leave, where do I go? And it's a real question because they might not have anywhere to go.
To go. Yeah, that's actually a reality there.
Hmm. So how that's a really tricky situation. And also,
Yeah.
let me add a little bit of spice and sauce to this situation. You are
Okay.
Mr. Good Samaritan. You're like to your girlfriend, okay, before I extend the little situation, most people don't actually make a plan. like you were saying that, oh yeah, you should then make your plan and say, okay, I'm crushing here for like the next month, but next month I'll be back on my feet and I'll have
Hmm.
my stuff together. Or genuinely, they might not actually, because we live in a tough country. A lot of, it might be
Yeah.
hard to get, another job. So you might not get up on your feet as fast as you want to. But some people, however, might decide, okay, let me take advantage of this guy. I actually don't need to be paying rent for the next, whatever. So let me just chill here and let him take care of everything. Well, when I
Yeah.
know fully well that, you know what, I probably don't even really love this guy. I'm just there because he's paying the rent. There are people who are messed up like that.
You.
There are people who are messed up like that. But I wanted to add a bit of source to this situation. You are the
Mhm.
generous guy who lets this girl into your house, and you're like, oh, let me take care of my girl. She's going through a very tough situation at this point in time. And then at some later
Yeah.
time in the future, you have an argument, and this relationship goes south. You were her support, you
Hmm.
were her everything at this particular point, and things go south. And then she leaves with all your property. And there was no legal here. This was, you staying with her and she staying with you, and then you mix your furniture. And then next thing, all hell breaks loose when she leaves with everything. You don't even know where she is. Are you then? Because these are stories that happen. You have guys saying she
Yeah.
left with everything. I got back from work and the house was empty. You know, are you then?
But then that's theft though.
Are you going to get her arrested, or you're going to be like, oh yeah, she's my girlfriend? And this happens
I'm
with
gonna
both.
get arrested.
This happens with both women and men, because there are some men who've left with women's property, and a woman gets to a
That
house and
look,
there's nothing.
that's theft.
Hmm. and
That's theft.
and they're out
So
there
the
claiming,
person
no,
needs to
this
be
belongs
locked
to
up.
me. Hmm. So
The person needs to be
cohabiting.
locked up.
Hmm.
The person needs to be locked up. If you take stuff that's mine,
Hmm.
you're getting locked up. That's theft. I mean, there's no way. There's no other way of looking at it.
Hmm.
If you're taking my things, you're stealing.
Yeah.
You left with stuff that's not yours. You stole my stuff. So I'm going to report you for stealing.
But they could easily claim that you gifted it to them.
I
And this is
gifted you a
verbal.
sofa.
And this again
I
is
gifted you.
verbal. This is verbal,
See, that's
because
the thing.
they could be like, oh yeah, he bought me an iPhone, whatever, and he also bought me a
But then that's the
TV, and
thing.
he gave me the sofa and all the kitchen stuff. And it's now
But then,
he said,
the,
she said, because
but
we
then that's
don't
the thing.
document gifts. We don't document gifts to
Legally,
begin with.
yeah. But legally, we're looking at who bought it.
You could buy a gift, you have the receipt, but you gifted it to me.
Yeah,
So how are you going to
yeah.
prove
But it's still
that
mine.
I didn't gift it to them?
Legally, it's mine. A gift is, according to the law,
Mhm.
I would say a gift is a temporary allowance of ownership, according to the law.
Whoa! If you're going to be coding the law, I think we need to know which section, which chapter, subsection. We
No,
need
I'm
to
not. I'm
hear
not.
that
I'm not.
all
I'm
up
not
in there.
quoting the law. Let me just give out this disclaimer. I'm no legal person, representatives or whatever.
Hmm.
I don't know nothing about the law.
Hmm.
But I'm saying if I bought a phone, right? I have the receipts are in my name.
Yeah,
I have the serial number, it's in my name, right?
absolutely. Yeah.
Everything is everything is in my name. Then I give it to you.
Hmm.
Legally, it's still mine,
But you
even though
gifted
you
me.
have
It's
it.
not mine.
No, no, yeah, I gave you, but I didn't. I didn't sign over. I didn't sign it over to you. It's like the case with houses.
Hmm.
If I give you a house because you're my girlfriend, and I give you my car, and I'm like, yo, you can have this car, right?
Hmm.
you can't then come back to me and say, if we break up, I can say, hey, give me back my car, right? You can't
Yeah.
run away with it
Hmm.
because the registration is still in my name.
Absolutely.
So if I go and report you to the police, they're not going to listen to you if you say, no, he gave it to me.
Hmm.
You stole it. You know,
Yeah.
it's. I think it's a simple thing. Like, if you have something of mine, even though I gave you, if I go and report to the police that, hey, he stole my stuff, she stole my stuff, she stole my laptop,
But
right?
let me
Here's my
reverse that. Let me
here's my
reverse that.
receipts.
Can
Here's my
can we just reverse that for
yeah
2 seconds? Because you are talking from the giver. You are
yeah.
talking from the point of view from the person who's actually purchased this gift and given it to. Let's talk about it from the recipient point of view. I buy
Okay.
you the laptop that you're using for everything, for work, for
Yeah.
whatever. And then I decide to take it back and say, I'm taking my gift back.
It
And
sucks, but it's yours.
and these are now because
Yeah,
now I feel like
I'm just gonna be honest.
you feel like you own it because you've got your stuff on there, and I come and I take it and I trash your laptop with all your information that's not
Mhm,
even saved on your cloud.
mhm.
And
Okay, do you know what happens?
mhm,
Do you know what happens when you buy like phones from you buy a stolen phone? Do you know
yeah,
what happens
hmm you can't.
when you buy a stolen phone and
The
well,
police
you don't
arrest.
know it's a stolen phone,
Yeah,
right?
the police just come and
You
arrest you.
don't exactly, even though you bought it,
Hmm.
because that's the thing. So if you gave me a phone, if you gave me a laptop, if you bought me a laptop, and there's no signing over of that laptop to me in a legal way, it's still yours.
So are we
That's
then
why you find
saying
that
are we
people,
saying gifts should also go
no,
legal?
exactly. You need to change the mindset. If you've watched movies or celebrities and how it's not like when they buy things for their significant others, they don't buy them and say, hey, like, okay, when Beyonce bought Jay-Z stock, it was Beyonce who bought Jay-Z stock, right? I got that right? I think so.
Yes.
She didn't
Yeah.
buy it in her name, then no, she bought it in Jay-Z's name. So if I'm buying you a car, I'm not buying the car in my name. I should buy it in your name. So as a recipient, you should also start to, because, okay, I think where this usually happens is in, so frankly speaking, in situations like in Zim, it's usually a disadvantaged woman
Hmm.
and the well-off guy, right?
Yeah.
The disadvantaged woman is not going to think further enough to realize that, hey, the house is not what you need. What you need is the title deeds.
Hmm.
You know, the car is not what you need. You need the registration
Yeah.
because that's proof that the car is yours.
Hmm.
So as long as the registration is in the buyer's name, it's
It's
actually not
not
yours.
yours.
It's still
Yeah.
his.
It's still his.
Yeah, you just have temporary ownership.
Hmm.
You're at his mercy. As long as you don't have the title deeds or the title deeds are in his name,
Hmm.
again, you are at his mercy.
Absolutely.
So exactly. So you need to know these things as a recipient. Um, is there a form of transfer of these objects? Unfortunately, for things like some smaller items, obviously that cannot happen.
Yeah.
You cannot really sign over, you know, perfume or briefs or socks
Yeah.
or lingerie.
But then that's
Yeah,
that's how
of
you have
course that'll
people when
be
they
a
break
discount.
up. When you break up with someone and they come to your house and they're like, "Give me all the t-shirts that I bought you. Give me the shoes, the Jordans that are under your bed. I bought that. Give me the." I mean, it's okay. It's obviously not civil, and
Yeah, it's
some
not
people
civil.
feel the need to do that. But
Yeah,
how do you protect your
it's
gift? I should be at, I should have the liberty to throw it away if I want to. I should have the liberty to keep it because I mean, there's a whole bigger discussion when it comes. I think we should have like a podcast about gifts. But anyway, you have
we should.
situations where someone bought someone a very expensive engagement ring and they ended up not getting
Mhm.
married and they're like, okay, I want my engagement ring back. And the girl's like, nope, I'm not giving you back that ring. And
What?
she sells
Wait, wait,
it.
wait, 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 wait. You, it's not sure.
And
That's
she
not
sells
mine.
it.
That's my property.
And then she sells
That's
it.
my property.
And then she sells
Uh,
it. But you actually, okay, you bought it and you gave it to her, but she then decides, okay, we're not getting married, but I'm not giving you back your ring. I'm going to sell it. What do you do about that? What is the law? Is
no,
there
but
even a law for gifts that says if a gift is expensive, then, there's that leeway where, you have to return it. You have to. And
no,
also
I
the
mean, in
argument would
that
be like,
case,
I didn't force you to buy me engagement ring, so you shouldn't ask for it back.
nah, but listen,
Hmm.
what I know is when you decline someone's proposal
Hmm.
for, I mean, engagement and all that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
basically you taking back the ring is that's your act of saying, hey, nah, this is not for me.
In
Because an engagement ring,
uh-huh.
wait a minute.
Hmm.
An engagement ring is like a wedding ring. That's conditional stuff. It's yours on the condition that you come with me in this journey.
Yeah.
So you can't keep an engagement ring when you have actually. That's the reason why people remove the wedding rings when they're divorced, because you can't
That's the thing.
keep an engagement.
People actually, most people, okay, a lot
Mhm.
of people, okay, if I use most, that's kind of like a random statistic, but that's not backed up by anything.
Yeah.
But I will say a lot of people don't actually think that way, that this is a conditional gift. And people, well, obviously things like a wedding ring or
What
an
do you
engagement.
mean?
Okay, things like an engagement ring are a conditional gift. But people don't understand that
Yeah,
because
that's
you might not really decline to get married to this person, but something happens, you're caught
Mhm,
cheating or you change your mind and then you end up not getting
mhm.
married, but you still want to keep this ring. I do not know why.
No, you can't keep. That's the thing. You can't keep the ring when you don't want to get married to me, because the ring is my. That's my proposal to you.
But what
You
does the
accepting it.
is
That's
there
you
something that's
saying
legally
you want.
binding that says that if someone gives you
Mhm.
an engagement ring and you decide that
Yeah,
you're not getting married to them anymore, is there something legally binding that says, you know what, if you don't return that ring, you're getting arrested? And do we
I
need
think
such a
so. I
thing?
think there should be some. I think there should be something like that. I wouldn't know the law though, but we'll need to probably get a lawyer here
Yeah, we need
and just
a lawyer
clarify
up in here.
something.
So yeah, people listening, we need a
So if
lawyer
you're
up
a
in here.
lawyer,
Hit us up. Hit us
yep, we
up.
need a lawyer. Just hit us up if you're a lawyer or if you know a lawyer that would be interested in joining it and just having a discussion with us. But I just think that, I mean, if it's an engagement ring, you
Hmm.
can't keep it. To me, it's just dumb. Like, why are you keeping it?
Hmm.
Keeping it means you want to get married. It's an engagement ring. You accept it if you're saying yes. If you're saying no, you close it and give it back. That's saying no. If you're keeping it, you're saying yes.
So should we
So
then apply the same principle to expensive gifts where we say, I'm buying you a car as your boyfriend, but it's on
Mhm.
condition that you're actually my girlfriend. If we're not, then please bring back my car.
Okay. Obviously, we can't really dictate like what people do in terms of how they gift each other these things. But like I say, if the car was if the car is in his name or her name, it's not yours. As long as you're the gifter, as long as you're the recipient and your name is not on the papers or the registration papers,
Hmm.
it's not yours.
But how do you have
It's
this?
not
How do you have this
yours.
papers conversation? This is you, Akeem.
No,
You,
it's
wait.
that's the
This
thing.
is
That's
you,
yeah.
and your girlfriend buys you a
Uh-huh.
car. How do you ask for the papers? I just want to hear how this plays out. Shoot, example.
So did you buy it from me in my name or was it in your name? I want
And
it in my name.
and then she'll be like, "Oh, I
Can you
bought
put
it.
it in my name?
Oh, I bought it in my name." And you'll be like, "Can you put it?" And then she'll be like, "Why?"
Because then it's not mine.
No, but baby, it's yours. You know, I bought it for you. It's just that it's in my name. That's a technicality.
No, that's the thing. That's the thing. So let's correct the technicality, Put it in my name.
And then it becomes a whole argument if it's some crazy chick that you're dating or, you know.
Then you already
You don't trust
at
me. I
that point
bought
you
you an
see.
expensive gift. You don't
No,
even
no, no.
appreciate this. What are you saying that you need the papers for? I bought it. Are you saying that I didn't? I paid for this because I bought, and that
At
discussion
that
could
point,
go
that's when
on a
you.
tangent, you know.
Nah, at that point, that's when you just see that okay, this is not for you. It's just for the moment. You need look, like I said, the people who are mostly gonna have these situations happen to them are people who are in a disadvantaged situation.
Hmm.
People really don't know much about these things. Like obviously, I'm sorry to just stereotype, but some random slay queen gets is bought I think a Benz,
Hmm.
a Mercedes. She's been gifted a Mercedes.
No, we're not
She's
talking
too
about anyone
excited
in
to
particular,
even.
guys.
Yeah, we're not talking about anyone in particular. But then,
Mhm.
your typical Harare slay queen get gifted a Mercedes. She's going to be super excited about, hey, I got a car. But she's not going to think that far that, hey, a car has insurance, a car has paperwork, there's registration and all that. Or a slay queen has been bought a flat. She's not going to think about
Who's
there's
the
something
title
called the lease
deed?
agreement.
Yeah.
Who's the title to all she cares about is I'm not paying rent and I'm staying in this lavish place,
Uh-huh.
right?
Absolutely.
But if you're an educated someone, you want to see the lease agreement.
Hmm.
I don't think it's a problem for me to ask you for a lease agreement, or to have the lease agreement in my name, or to have the house or the car in my name, if you're really getting it from me, or with no strings attached, that is.
Hmm.
But the moment you say no, then I know, hey, this is just bait. This is bait. This is conditional stuff. This is for the moment stuff. The moment we break up, the moment I screw up or you screw up,
You're taking everything.
and yeah, you're taking everything.
But we also have to think about the fact that, there are educated people who know about this, that know for a fact
Hmm.
that obviously I need to know who's owning the car and who's like who owns this house and all of that and the paperwork. But people are still
Yeah.
afraid to ask the questions. People are still afraid to ask, and people don't even know how to ask because these are like those tough conversations that people have. People are already having challenges with, boundary conversations and consent conversations and money conversations.
Mhm.
So for them to start a conversation about something as big as this, it's usually hard. The same way they're going to ask to be, you know, on that lease agreement or ask to be on that, in that contract and say let's go legal on this. Yes, we're cohabiting, but let's go legal on it. I want to know my obligations, and I want to know what will happen
Mhm.
if I don't honor my obligations. I'm not saying I don't trust you, but it seems it's a very tough conversation for lots of people to have, so they just move in,
Now, to be
throw
honest,
it under the
to be
carpet,
honest,
live like everything's
I
okay.
don't.
And,
Uh,
when things go south, they go south.
mhm.
Yeah.
To be honest, I don't think it's a tough conversation. Like that should be the simplest of conversations we can ever have.
Hmm.
If we look, like I said, if you know your situation in the relationship, it
Yeah,
will only become a difficult conversation if you know that you're not really.
the one with the
I
upper
mean,
hand.
you know,
Hmm.
yeah, you know, if um if probably I'm dating someone and I buy her a car and it's just a temporary thing,
Hmm.
right? Just for me to get set services. Um, she'll know.
Hmm. But why
She'll
is it not
know.
being
She should
verb?
know.
Yeah. Are you going to actually
Yeah.
verbalize and say, you know what? I am buying you this car for only the duration that you are going to be supplying me with some coitus on a regular basis.
My not putting that car in your name is me telling you that.
But that's sneaky.
Yeah.
Why are people being sneaky in relationships? We are talking about
No,
being
that's not
nudgy.
that's not sneaky. That's being direct.
It's not direct, it's
Look,
not verbalized in plain English where I'm
no, that's the
telling
thing.
someone that, okay, I'm buying you this car. It's only
Contracts.
for
Wait,
my
wait, 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 wait.
convenience. Yes.
Our registration documents written in French or Spanish or whatever, they're all in English.
But
So
it
what more
still
can be
feels
clearer
like
than a legal document?
if
Look,
it
that's the
still
thing.
feels like
Do
it's
you
an
know?
idiom
Wait,
instead of an actual this is what's happening.
no, but then, Mina, listen. This is, a lot of people are going online saying you need to know the difference between ownership and, I don't know, being doing things. I don't know. Like, most of these motivational speakers are saying this. People like Diwa and what's his other name? Yeah, you have Arthur Marara and you have all those people. They're talking about you need to own stuff, right? When we say own stuff, what do we mean? Like, what do you think of when we say own? If I if I say I own my house, what does that entail? If okay, for example, if I go to and buy a house, right? I go and buy a house, and these people don't give me the deeds,
Yeah.
or the deeds are in someone else's name,
Yeah, it becomes tricky.
and I don't have like that change of ownership. Like okay, like when you buy a car, essentially you're supposed to have that change of ownership thing, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
What do you? So you get a car or you get a house, and you don't have anything. Like obviously you can have change of ownership, or you can have an affidavit saying that you bought the car, right?
Yeah.
So if there's nothing like that between us, what do you think is going on?
You know, some dude could actually, or some chick could actually be oblivious to the fact that they actually need to change the ownership.
No, no,
I
no, no. Wait,
hope.
wait, 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 wait. Wait, no, I'm not saying. Wait, I'm not talking about relationships here.
Mhm.
I'm talking about you and the buyer and seller. You're buying from me. Okay, I'm selling my
Oh,
car to
okay,
you,
okay, okay,
right?
okay, okay.
Yeah, I'm
Obvi-
selling my car to you.
Obviously,
Then I sell you my car. Wait, I sell you my car, and we don't have that affidavit.
oh yeah, it's
What I,
definitely
hmm,
feels a bit
do you own the
shady.
car? Do you own the car?
I don't own it yet.
That exactly. And then if for any reason, whose fault is it? If you leave that point and you say, I'm not going to ask for the affidavit, whose fault
Obviously,
is this?
obviously both parties are to blame, but obviously
How?
we blame I blame myself more for not pursuing the matter and actually getting to the bottom of it and getting the documentation that I should be getting.
Yeah, because that's the thing. It's part of purchasing means that you have it in your name.
Hmm.
Part of ownership, the ownership process entails that you should have it in your name,
In your
or
name.
some document or some way that proves that it's actually yours. Now, if there's nothing like that, you don't own that. So let's start from that stance. You never get into a shop and buy anything and don't get the receipt. The reason they give you the receipt, that's proof of payment.
Hmm.
If you buy something in a shop and you decide to move out without getting the receipt, and the guy at the till there decides to be sneaky and hides the receipt,
You're in trouble.
and the
Guys,
guard catches you with no receipt,
receipt.
you are in trouble.
They're taking you to the back.
Exactly.
Guys, get
They're
your
taking you to
receipt.
the back.
Get your receipt,
Yeah,
guys.
because you see, exactly. Get your receipts.
Hmm.
Yeah, because you can't tell us that I own this and you don't show. Like, I think people have been making a meme out of it. Like, show us the receipts. When someone shows up, like, hey, I bought a new car,
Hmm.
they'll be like, yeah, show us the receipts, show us the V11s. I think that's something that's going on Twitter.
Oh,
What do you mean? What do you think people are talking about when they say, show us the receipts? Show us that you own it.
ah,
Because anyone can, I can walk around driving I think I can borrow a Range Rover from someone.
even a car sale.
If I drive.
Take a
Yeah, I can
test
go to the
drive.
castle and yeah, I
Claim to
can
be.
go to the castle and like, guys,
Can I
I want
test
to take
drive?
this GLE. Can I test drive it? They give me the GLE. I start test driving it.
Take
As I'm test
pictures for the
driving it, I take
gram.
pictures. Yeah,
For the gram.
just go myself. I got my new car.
Hmm.
Yeah, but is it mine? No, I don't have receipts.
Yeah.
You know. So yes, the guys at the car sale gave me the car for a test drive. They didn't say it's mine.
That's not yours.
They said yeah, it's not mine. It could be mine if I pay up. Yeah. So that's the same thing. If you're in a relationship and you get something from your partner, do you have the receipts? Especially for big items like cars, houses, stock.
Hmm.
Do you have the receipts?
Yeah.
Get the receipts.
Get
That's
the
yeah.
receipts.
Because the thing is, most people are caught in the trap of wanting to show off
Oh
what they
yeah.
have.
Hmm.
They really don't care about owning. They don't care about the receipts because to them it's mine,
Yeah.
right? But technically it's not.
It's not. Yeah.
Yeah. So get it in your name. If he's buying it, if he really wants you to have it, you should have bought it in your name in the first place. The
Hmm.
fact that he bought it in his name means that it's a trap. It's his,
Although there's that
and
like
you only
small
get access to
percentage,
it.
there is disclaimer. There is that small
Mm-hmm.
percentage that's probably oblivious to the fact that they should be transferring the ownership. I'm going to speak for that small minority. But definitely obviously if people are being shady, I like the fact that you brought the receipts issue, because people should be 100% transparent. If it's a proper relationship, no
Yeah,
shuruguing in there. People should be 100%
true.
transparent. And part of being transparent when it comes to these gifts, especially that are big, is letting the other person know that, okay, I bought you a car, and this is how we're going to do it. We're going to transfer the ownership because I actually want this car to be yours, or I want this house to be yours. And there's that proof and security, assurance that this actually
Mm-hmm.
belongs to me. And people overlook that, but it's quite important. And this is how there's a lot of manipulation, and people still start to feel shortchanged when someone takes back their gift in codes. And we have all
Mm-hmm.
this chaos. And even back to the
Yeah,
cohabiting situation, not only does it protect you when you are legally in the loop and there's transparency, it protects you in like a huge way, because now you won't have someone. Because we could have an argument and we're cohabiting, and I could just call the police and say, there's a trespasser in my yard, please come get them.
mm-hmm.
And it will be like, oh yeah, we were dating, yeah, and it just becomes one of those stories. And so people should really protect themselves out in
That
these
is true.
streets.
People should protect yourself.
Protect
Protect
yourself.
yourself.
Hmm.
It's very important. I think for the minority, I think this is opportunity for you to learn.
Yeah, learn,
Please, if you
learn.
don't have the receipts, you don't own it.
Hmm.
If you don't have the
Definitely.
receipts, you don't own it.
Yeah. For all we
Yeah,
know, it
I
could be
mean,
stolen something
it's
that's being transferred to you. And when the police come, they're going to arrest you, not your boyfriend or your girlfriend. So you need to be careful.
yep,
Yeah. You need to.
yeah. That's the other thing.
Hmm.
Like, remember, like the example we gave.
Hmm.
If you buy a stolen phone, right?
Hmm.
If you buy a stolen phone, when the police comes through, tracing that phone,
Hmm.
you will get arrested
Nobody else.
because that phone is not exactly. You get arrested. So if you're gifted that, right, and you have nothing that really certifies that you own this,
Hmm.
do you see that you can potentially, yes, it might be a gift, but you're potentially in harm's way.
Yeah, it puts you in jeopardy.
Exactly. Because when the police come through, they are looking for the person who
Has
has the
it.
phone.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You know, and now when you say, oh, no, 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 he bought me, or she bought me, it's, dude, we don't know this. As far as we know, you have the phone, we're arresting you.
And there's plausible deniability. He could just say, I don't know what she's talking about. She's just a disgruntled
Exactly.
ex. You know,
Yeah.
because it reminds me of those stories that happen. I don't know if you watch Border Control, where someone gives you a package and you don't even check what it is, and then at the airport they then discover it's drugs, and you're telling them, no, but I
Hmm.
got it. Maybe you genuinely actually got it from someone, and then when you try to call them, they're like, I don't know this girl, or they don't pick up, and then you now have to go to jail for a package that you didn't even know what it was. And so many
No.
people have been
Yep.
victim of this. So look out for you, people.
Yeah. True. There's no strength. I mean, the problem is people have been brought up to think that being meek and being silent and being soft about these things. Nah, look, when
Mm,
you're getting into this situation like this, you need to be firm. You need to know exactly what you're doing. You need to be assertive at
yeah.
every point.
Hmm.
If you're gifting me something, I need to know where you're getting it from. You know,
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
can't be accepting. Yeah, I know you want. Yeah, if I gift you a Lamborghini, wouldn't you be concerned where I got it from?
You should. You should. You should.
Yeah, like
Especially
look at
especially
me.
if it looks, suspicious, where I remember in the money conversation we
Mhm.
talked about, when you kind of then know like what your person earns, owns, and
Ernst.
owes.
Yeah.
It was earns, owes, earns, yeah. And I know
Yeah.
that you earn this much, and I know that you owe this much, and I know what you own, and then you
Mhm.
buy me a gift that doesn't make sense. I want to know where that money came from for you to buy that gift. I want to know who your plug is. Why are you getting a Lamborghini when you can't afford it? Because when the police come,
Yep.
I'm the one who's going to be sitting in that car, and I will get arrested. So obviously,
True.
people should be asking questions. If your
Oh.
own boyfriend is using
Mhm.
a Samsung J something and they buy you an iPhone 12, you should be raising eyebrows.
Yo.
Like, why are you buying
Yep.
me an iPhone that you don't have? You know? But
Yep.
people don't ask that.
I'll give you an
Maybe it's sacrificial love. I don't know.
I'll,
Maybe there's those few cases, but then
I'll,
there are definitely shady cases where Akeem, you're buying a
mhm.
Range Rover for your girlfriend, but you drive a Honda Fit. It doesn't make sense,
Nah, not happening.
you know. Maybe you love her that much. Maybe you
I,
do. But
I'll give you an example. My mom, she won't accept anything from like a gift from any of my female cousins. My
okay.
cousin sisters. She
Hmm.
won't accept anything that is way out of, because she knows how much each and every one of them earns.
Hmm.
She won't accept anything that's way above how much they earn.
Hmm.
So if you earn X amount and you gift her something that she knows pretty much is way out of your
Pay
um
range, yeah, pay league.
comfort zone. Yeah,
Mm.
exactly. She won't accept it.
I'll be like,
She'll be like,
that's
take it back,
way
take it
above
back to whoever. Yeah, like because
that's
in a
way
way
above your pay
she's
grade.
like, how? Because my mom is one person who doesn't believe in female hustling. So she's like, how did you get it?
Hmm. We need
How
a
did you get it?
PowerPoint
Yeah, you know.
presentation of how you acquired this gift.
Exactly. No
Yeah.
offense, but you can't be telling me that you bought me an iPhone 12 from Avon, bro. Like that doesn't make sense at all.
Hmm.
That doesn't make sense at all. You know.
Hmm.
So yeah, if you need to also to be able to look at these things, and when you have been bought something, just make sure it's in your name. You know,
Yeah.
that's all I'm asking.
Hmm.
So let's close up. I think we've gone for long.
Yeah, I think that the other
Where's the,
part that we were meant to talk about today, it will probably just come in a
uh
different episode altogether, because this whole cohabiting issue is quite deep, and we actually ended up talking about
Yes,
gifts and ownership of things and relationships. So yeah, we took the rabbit trail, but it's quite interesting because this is a very relevant conversation, and people should be having it in their relationships, because we are encouraging non-shuruki conversations in your relationship. So definitely, because obviously you're gifting each other things, buying each other things, making each other promises, cohabiting, unless you're dating some stingy man or stingy person who's not buying you anything. You probably don't need to worry about ownership. Okay, I mean it respectfully, but okay, no, actually, no, there's no respect there, because yeah, stingy,
wow,
what? But yeah, that's a whole conversation. But definitely, people should be protecting themselves. Be streetwise, if I should put that word. Protect yourself.
true.
Make sure you know what you're getting yourself into. Full transparency. If it's an agreement, know all the terms, even the ones that are in fine print. If it's going to be a lease agreement, if it's going to be ownership of something, know the fine print and the full print, all of it. So you're
Yeah,
not just blinded by the fact that, oh yeah, his six pack is mesmerizing me, and I can't even look at the fact that, I need to sign an actual contract or have a transfer of ownership for this thing to be mine. So yeah, that's what I have to say on this issue.
yeah. So going back to what we're talking about, cohabitation and everything, guys, just make sure you know. I mean, we're now living in a modern age. There's no point in you being, meek about some of this stuff. You need to be, you know, yeah, firm. If you're getting into a place with someone, there's nothing wrong in saying, hey, look, let's agree on this. I'm gonna do this, you can do that. Let's put it down on paper
Hmm.
and let's have someone sign it up, some sort of affidavit, get forms from the police or something. It's always good to protect yourself because things are
Yeah.
gonna happen. It might not be that you mess up. It might not be that she messes up or he messes up.
Hmm.
You might actually mess up.
Yeah.
What happens? You need to be in a position to protect yourself at each and every point.
Hmm.
Don't just do things willy nilly because of, hey, I trust you. Yeah, you do trust the person, but
Put it
also
in
be
writing.
wary. Put it in writing.
Hmm.
Exactly. There's no lose of trust. There's no trust lost. And there's no lose of trust. Woohoo!
Ooh,
There's
woo.
no trust lost.
Hmm.
There's no trust lost in you signing something,
Yeah.
putting something on paper.
You already trust me,
I'll
so
probably,
Mhm.
yeah, trust me that what I'm doing is a good thing. I'm one person who will make you sign a prenup. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna say this.
Ooh.
It's, yeah, let's just
The
say
deep end. I think
there's
we need
not,
an episode for that.
yeah. So if you cohabiting, okay, that was a joke. Wait, was
You
it?
can't take.
Was it? Was it? Was it? Nah, but let's not. But I mean, Protect yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Protect yourself. That's the thing. Protect yourself. You always want to protect yourself.
Mm-hmm.
There are people who are out here building legacies for themselves, and the people who are there to try and profit off other people's success. It's happening, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
The person you're with might not be that type of person, but then again, you don't know, right? So, yeah, I mean, it's my house. You are in it. I'm going to be paying everything.
Mm-hmm.
If anything happens, you leave it. I don't see that as a bad arrangement.
Guys, we're wrapping this up. Just
Yeah.
get your receipts. Get your
Yeah,
receipts.
get them receipts, guys. Get them receipts.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you again for joining us in this episode. Can't wait to see you in the next episode. And again, remember, guys, if you're a lawyer or you know a lawyer or you're interested in what we're talking about, and I mean, if you know more stuff than we do, because obviously we don't know nothing,
Yeah.
we're just rambling about, please contact us. Just DM us on Instagram. You can even, or Facebook, that is for the Simuka page, or you can use Twitter for the African Millennial page. So just contact us on any of those two platforms and communicate with us, and we can get you on the show,
Oh,
so that we can hear your voice.
I just
Yeah.
need to shout out to, we've been getting your feedback for those that have been tuning into, some of our podcasts. We love you guys. Thank you for the feedback. I mean, random people have been sending messages talking about, oh yeah, I'm in the middle of listening to this podcast. You guys are, getting all up in there, and we love the energy, and we love your feedback, and you're the guys that keep us going, because we know that we're not rumbling and no one's listening. So, thank you for
Yeah.
that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Keep engaging with us, and we'll engage right back.
Awesome. Yep. So there you have it, guys. Thank you again for joining us, and thank you for the support. We really, really appreciate that you guys get to be with us in each and every episode, and we can't wait to see you in the next one.
Cause I've been running from the world and from myself. Now I'm not afraid of failure, cause the vision clearer. Why don't you tell me what I'm missing? I'm speaking all this time, but I could tell they never listen. Nah, I put the keys in the ignition. Driven by success, but all my dreams are feeling distant. Married to the game, but honestly, I need a mistress. Been in the world for a while to know it doesn't work on wishes. Now I'm bootstrapped in the booth to make a hit list. And I ain't talking about the one with targets that are Caymans, but I'm anxious. Should I pull the trigger on these haters? Cause I don't wanna make a living.